Hey, ¿cómo están todos? Wicho001 de vuelta con Genshin Impact, la misión Arconte. Aquí se llama Omnipresencia sobre los mortales. En el anterior vimos, para hacer un pequeño resumen, llegamos a la isla, conocimos a su excelencia Kokomi. Kokomi nos dio nuestro propio grupo para pelear al lado de su ejército. Somos el capitán. Conocimos a este grupo, nos ganamos sus respetos. Ahorita tenemos esta relación con Tepe de competición de quién es más chingón, quién es el mejor jefe. Nos mandó a investigar Kokomi. Bueno, primero nos mandó a limpiar la isla, en la retaguardia en esta isla, para evitar que nos ataquen. Y ahorita nos mandó a una isla llena, o bueno, islitas, donde está el resto del ex dios, porque ya está muerto, Onyx, quien se peleó con la Shogun Raiden en la guerra de los arcontes porque invadió la isla Yashiori. Y la Raiden dijo, no, espérame, y lo mató. Lo mató al pobrecito y pues ya, en esencia esa es la explicación de por qué hay restos de calaca ahí, por qué hay un exceso de tataragami en la zona y por qué hay un hueco enorme en la tierra. Fue obra de la Shogun Raiden y su gran habilidad con la espada. Ahorita venimos de regreso. Tepe ahorita está comportándome extraño. Yo estoy dudando de él un poquito. Hay un tercer contribuyente que le está apoyando a la resistencia, pero yo sospecho que son los Fatui, porque de otra forma no encuentro cómo demonios va a estar ligado los Fatui con esta situación. Porque yo sé que los Fatui están en esta situación. Entonces lo vimos en el trailer. Entonces yo siento que son ellos. TP se está comportando un poquito extraño, está tosiendo mucho. No sé si se debe porque tiene heridas graves y no quiere atenderse, o porque él está enfermo con esta sustancia tatarigami. Que por quienes no lo sepan, en los live streams jugamos un poquito toda esa situación, las misiones de mundo. Y en esas misiones de mundo nos enteramos que el exceso de la energía tatarigami provoca que la gente en esencia se muera. No es bueno para la salud. Si están expuestos por mucho tiempo, empiezan a tener dolores de cabeza, sangrados y eventualmente la muerte. Entonces, quién sabe. Veamos qué continúa en esta historia. ¡Oh, Goro! También va a ser pull por él. Goro. 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 Goro.
What happened? They look so serious. Approximately how many people are exhibiting these symptoms?
Oh, sí, están
I haven't had
enfermos.
the chance to do a full count yet.
Kokomi, Goro, what's going on?
Recently, some of our soldiers started showing symptoms of accelerated aging. I called them in for questioning and found out they'd privately acquired some secret weapons from our sponsor. Most of them are highly ambitious types, vehemently opposed to the Vision Hunt decree. They've been using these new weapons secretly since getting a hold of them.
So that's why the war has been going unusually well. But risky secret weapons are not the answer. We must put a stop to it immediately.
Pero las armas de origen riesgoso no son la solución.
Goro, have you managed to acquire one of these weapons?
Most of the officers refused to hand them over. Still, I did manage to get one.
Los
Do
Fatui.
you know
Oh,
something
no.
about this?
Es un engaño de los Fatui.
So that means our secret sponsor is the Fatui?
But
Yep.
why would the Fatui do this? Forget that. There's no time. Right now, we need to inform the whole army to cease using their delusions immediately.
¿Cómo se llaman? Si para nosotros son estas visiones, ellos tenían su propio nombre, ¿no? Sus artilugios. Esos se los están
All
dando.
soldiers who have shown symptoms are to be taken for treatment.
Ah,
I just hope
Tepe,
we'll be in
ya
time
entendí.
to save them.
Sí, no lo vinculé tan rápido.
Wait a second. Speaking of soldiers with symptoms.
Sí. Tepe.
No. Surely he can't have.
Era muy torpe como para que le fuera tan bien.
Let's go check on him.
¿Qué estrategia más sucia? Le ayudan a la resistencia a ganarle a la Shogun, pero realmente solo les van a otorgar pequeñas victorias en el juego medio, para que en el juego tardío, es que no sé cómo expresarlo, en la guerra tardía, quien realmente gane sea la Shogun, porque a todos los soldados que utilizaron las armas que les ayudaron a ganar en la etapa media de la guerra, pues ya valieron, reduciendo sus fuerzas del ejército. Busca, no, con ese botón, era con el de la derecha. ¿Qué? Ah, no, es con el de la izquierda. Tepe. Tepe. Tienen las patas más largas. Ah, chinga y tepe. Ah, no recuerdo que hacían sonidos extraños los electróculos.
Oh. Hey
Ah, su
guys,
madre.
what are you doing here? Just a moment. Let me get up. It's weird. I don't know where all my strength's gone.
¿Qué te pasó?
Oh, right. Yeah. I haven't had time to give you the full details.
No, pues yo pensé que esto iba a ser
I
más a
made a
largo
lot of
plazo, pero
great
no.
contributions
Envejece
to
muy
the war
rápido.
effort lately. Fighting the Shogun's army at sea, taking on Shogunate samurai all by myself, rescuing my comrades from an ambush. Things I never would have dreamed I could do when you first met me. If only I were stronger still. The stronger I am, the more I can do for the resistance. Wait a sec. Where's my secret weapon gone?
Háblame de esa arma. ¿Cuándo empezaste a usarla?
It wasn't long after you were made captain of Swordfish 2. I met these mysterious people. Said they were with our supporters. They gave it to me and said that as long as I have the will to become stronger, his secret weapon will answer my call. It's just like a vision, isn't it? Of course, I've never used a vision, so I wouldn't know the difference.
Esto es un engaño.
Delusion. Oh God. Doesn't sound very good. So, what's the difference between a delusion and a vision?
Un engaño drena la fuerza vital de su portador.
Gosh. Well, I suppose it's not too surprising that a mysterious weapon of
Yo lo
unknown
dije.
origins would come with its risks.
Por tener su ambición y prioridades puestas en la fama, orgullo y gloria, le iba a pasar algo malo a él o a los demás. Y pues sí, a todos. Entonces, porque sí recuerdo que en la misión de historia de Tartaglia, de Child de Nopal, él mismo también estaba cansado, pero por la pelea con nosotros. O sea, esa misión toma tiempo poquito después de haber peleado contra él en la última misión de Arconte de Liyue. Que yo recuerdo es por eso que estaba tan débil o que no podía usar tanto su forma especial, porque consumía mucha energía y todavía no se había recuperado. Pero entonces los 11 heraldos de Snesnaya, de los Fatui, no solo tienen engaños, sino que ellos recibieron una parte del poder de su arconte, ¿no? Por eso, a pesar de que les drena su vida, ellos pueden usarlos cuando se les antoje. ¿Estoy correcto? No estoy seguro.
I've been getting more and more tired over the past few days, and I have this strange sense of dread.
No, sí, el temor a la
At
muerte.
first, I'd find I was a little more beat than usual after a battle. Didn't think anything of it. But today, I got back and suddenly my vision was going blurry. This is a real shame. There I was, thinking I was catching up with you.
No, mijo, pues yo
Guess
soy
I
casi
didn't
un ser inmortal.
receive the favor of the gods after all.
No, pues es que también hay que ser realista.
Hey, would you do something for me?
Si cierra los
When our
ojos es de gays.
uniforms are ready, grab mine for me. Bring it back here, and we can change together. What's that look for? Don't worry, partner. Soon as I've rested up, I'll be right as rain.
Right as rain, I tell you.
No más que se va a morir
As
aquí.
soon as I've rested up.
Tepe!
Los Fatui. Ay, nunca había visto esa cara.
Hey! Where are you going?
Tepe.
Hey!
Ah, lo hicieron encabronar. No, ya valió madres. No, sí. Habla con... ¡Cocobi! No, no me detengan. ¡Mándame! ¡Mándame!
How's Tepe's condition?
¿Cómo es posible que ninguno de nosotros se haya dado cuenta?
I have put out the order to seize all delusions.
Sí.
The vast majority are showing some loss of vitality, but nothing serious. Sadly, a few have been less fortunate.
Your Excellency, I'm planning to establish a dedicated field hospital to monitor their condition. The soldiers are up in arms about the ban, though. They know full well what a delusion is, but they still intend to keep using them.
Okay, I'll leave you to deal with the situation. I have to get to the front line. This whole fiasco is certain to be a blow to morale. If the Shogun's army attacks now while we're scrambling to recover, it could well undo everything we have achieved so far. What are your thoughts?
Me enfrentaré a los Fatui directamente.
No, it's too dangerous. The Sakoku decree is still in force, so their delusions must be produced within Inazuma's borders. To organize an operation of this scale, they will have had to mobilize a huge amount of manpower and resources. They can't have done it without local support. If we want to stop them, we have to destroy the factory where the delusions are made. But it's sure to be heavily guarded. It's dangerous to go alone. At least take some troops with you.
No hay tiempo para eso.
Your Excellency, given the urgency of the situation, we were hardly discreet when confiscating the delusions. The Fatui are sure to take notice. If we spend any longer amassing our forces, they will get wind of our plans and make their escape.
Very true. Let me think. I gave this some thought while you were confiscating the delusions. The side of the factory must be big and secluded, but close enough to a transport route to ensure the supply of raw materials.
Ay, cabrón.
Not many places meet these criteria. And if we take the locations where our soldiers receive their delusions into account as well, I suspect the site is likely to be the cliffs, near the ocean at the southwest of Yashiori Island. I'm not going to stop you, but please, be careful. We have lost too many courageous fighters already. I don't want to lose you
Tan
too.
putadísimo. Bien. En marcha.
Huh? You mean to the delusion factory? Really? You aren't gonna think it over first? Fine.
Esperen, olvidé algo. No, sí, pasadas de lanza. Pues miren, no se murió. Pero sí. Casi. Casi ya no la cuenta el buen TP. Es que, o sea, es entendible, ¿no? Y son situaciones en las que no puedes culparlos porque depende de la perspectiva y el área que te rodea de eventos. Es la forma en la que ves, percibes cosas. Porque uno que está desde afuera dice, ay, güey, ¿cómo es esas ramas misteriosas? Y si te das dando cuenta que te está agotando demasiado y que te están dando algo que no sabes qué es, pues no lo utilizas tan porque sí, me explico, no lo utilizas tan fácilmente. Entonces, tienes cuidado al respecto, investigas al menos. Pero pues están en medio de una guerra, presionados, con necesidades, siempre al borde de la muerte, en una situación 50-50 porque no sabes si van a ganar o perder. Pues en momentos desesperados haces acciones desesperadas. Hay que evitar que los engaños se distribuyan por Inazuma. No puedes permanecer al margen y presenciar cómo causan aún más sufrimiento. Desafío a un jugador. Híjole, sí me va a doler la falta de Noel. Pero vamos a hacerle caso a Disca las recomendaciones de esta cosa. Y en su caso hay que llevarnos a Shinyan.
Let's jam.
Ay, Diosito. Lo bueno es que ya es 6, entonces sí tiene buenas bonificaciones. Y también tiene buenos niveles de talento. Ahorita nada más le cambio el arma, le pongo los estos de Noel y listo. No habrá problema. Busca quien ir. Creo que ya sé que se viene. No, hombre, creo que voy a tener que cambiar de personajes en cierto punto. Vamos a ponerle este de Noel. ¿Dónde está el de recarga de energía? Aquí tengo el de recarga de energía. Tenía uno de recarga de energía. O era acá. Era acá. Ahí más. Le puse el de recarga de energía porque en esencia me sirve más. Me sirve más que su ulti esté constantemente saliendo. Porque me da el escudo más fuerte posible de Xinyan. Tengo entendido. Oh. ¿Qué es esto? ¿Nio? Vi clips de Nio, entonces sí. Bueno, mi clip nada más. Oh.
Halloween Thunder!
Try to look it!
Don't be a killjoy! We've only just begun!
Don't get frostbite.
Take this!
Pyrotechnics!
Yeah!
Como que pegan medio choco mis personajes, ¿no?
Body and mind. Brain outlines your fate.
Ah,
Take this!
Dodge this.
Power cord!
Lightning slash!
mira, tienen miedo a la cristalizada. Déjenme agarrarla. Ok, no hay nada más. Todo meco, no le cambié las... Ahí está.
So,
Nada más.
is this what delusions are made from? So much crystal
No inventes,
metal.
la médula cristalizada es
Now, where have we seen
dañina.
that? Wait a second. Are they getting this from Rito?
De Rita, así es.
So the Kanji Commission are...
Son los Fatui. No me sorprendería.
Lightning slash!
We've only just begun.
Take this!
Shine.
Pyrotechnics!
Según recuerdo, la médula cristalizada contiene una energía que es dañina para los humanos si están expuestos por tanto tiempo. Aviso de la superintendente, la situación de la guerra civil en Inazuma aún no está clara. Cuanto más se prolongue, mejor será para nosotros. Para exponer la demanda de engaños del ejército de resistencia, instigar la guerra y mantener viva la voluntad de seguir con la guerra por parte de ambos bandos. Pedimos a todos los compañeros que apoyen al oficial de asuntos marítimos de segundo grado, Nathan, para poner un alto a las aspiraciones de las tropas de Jonomiya a la brevedad. Si ocurre algo imprevisto, deberán ayudar a Nathan a huir. Queda terminantemente prohibido difundir rumores sobre la infiltración en nuestras filas. Recuérdenlo bien, pues solo de esta forma se podrá garantizar el suministro de engaños. No podemos ignorar el más mínimo detalle. Desgraciados infelices.
Yikes! It looks dangerous. We'd better watch our step or we might get hit.
Uy, no ayuda. Órale. La vecina se cayó. Au. Ay, murciélaguitos. ¡Corre!
Intruder spotted! Do not let them impede the work of the Harbingers. You'll never get out of here alive!
Power cord! No, my sword! Shred till I'm dead!
Killjoy! Looks like I
Freeze!
went too far.
Cool it!
This is bad.
Rain outlines your fate. Feel the beat!
Aumenta el bono de daño físico que realiza la persona que está protegida por el escudo de Xinyan.
Now this idiot must have a death wish. Don't be intimidated. Lord Harbinger will be here soon.
Dodge this! This moment will be frozen in time.
Body and mind. Let me weave you a bird.
Freeze! What's the...
Here! Thunderclap!
Natasha.
Out of my sight. Pyrotechnics! Rain outlines your mirror.
Dodge this!
Lightning flash!
You need to hurry up.
Freeze!
El escudo para que no nos haga tanto daño.
No, my sword!
Unfortunate fault.
Take this!
Yes, aquí
You
dan
actually managed to find this place. Congratulations.
No sé por qué la neta se emocionan tanto por este güey. Sí, está chido el personaje, pero se emociona demasiado. Ok, no importa.
Barely 2 words in, and you already look like you want me dead.
Están dándole engaños al ejército de la resistencia.
Oh, so that's what this is about. I think you've got the wrong idea. I know how this looks, but I'm just here to follow orders. I'm obviously not the mastermind behind this. Aren't you supposed to be pretty tough? What are you waiting
Oh,
for?
típico niño
Go get
X.
them. You're getting all worked up over nothing. You've changed. You're getting weak.
How can you say this is nothing?
How can you call it anything more? It's the way of the world. Human life is worthless.
Niño Eiji.
They were always going to die, with or without a delusion. At least having one gives them a chance to fulfill their ambitions.
Es una
Do you have
excusa.
any idea how useful the Vision Hunt decree is to us? It took a lot of work to make it happen. Obviously, it was in our best interests.
Es su culpa de
Good news
ustedes.
is, our hard work is finally paying off. Generating conflict creates a big market for delusions. Now we just let the promise of power draw in the weak. For just a small price, they get the feeling of controlling the world, trading their life for supreme power. Pretty good deal, don't you think?
So, the Fatui started the Vision Hunt decree? You've been behind it all along?
From the outside, Inazuma looks pretty impenetrable. But on the inside, It's a land of opportunity. With a little effort, we were able to break them down from within. Eternity stretches things out over a long time, but each moment within it becomes all the more fragile. Take your friend in the Resistance, for example. There's nothing you can do now. He's a lost cause. Just like a bubble on the water. Beautiful for a moment, then total destruction. The more it takes from them, the more tightly they hold on to it. And the more incompetent they are, the more determined they are to fight it. It's such a farce. You have to see the funny side.
No te atrevas a burlarte de Teppei.
Hey, calm down!
Oh, no más vamos a pelear contra él.
No!
Algo me decía que estar tanto tiempo aquí no iba a ser bueno.
That's it. Just like that. Embrace the anger. Embrace it! The wrath of the gods fills this factory, and it feeds on your anger.
What's happening? Get up!
No. ¿Qué? Wait, what? ¿Qué está pasando? ¿Qué hace ella aquí?
Repeat after me. 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. Come on.
3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. ¿Jénico?
Oh, you recognize me right away. Your brain seems relatively unscathed. This is good news. It's just as well, really, with the amount of effort it took me to get you back here. Honestly, it was like you were glued to the ground back there.
Nico? Paimon's been wanting to ask you about something. How come you're acting so differently from when we first met you?
Am I? Maybe it's because I had the other Shrine Maidens leave. Anyway, I've always been like this. People show you whatever side of themselves they want you to see. I know this for a fact. Every side of me is the real me. People just like to define things in all sorts of arbitrary ways. This is a human society. At the moment, anyway. And I'm just doing as I please.
Paimon didn't quite follow.
Study humans a while longer, my little friend. You'll see what I mean.
¿Cómo me salvaste de escaramucia?
Right! Paimon was so focused on the Traveler that Paimon didn't notice what you did to get Scaramouche off our backs.
What if I told you it was a secret art from the Grand Narukami Shrine, and that I had the balladeer down on his knees, begging for mercy in an instant?
¿Tiene orejas o
Would
es
you
pelo?
believe me? Well, maybe you should be worrying less about that, and more about how exactly you're going to thank me, no? Maybe some of your neural circuitry is less intact than I thought.
Muchas gracias, señorita Yae.
I didn't mean you had to be so formal about it. I need your actions, not your words. The delusions. They're still on your mind, aren't they?
Sí. ¿Qué pasó después?
You needn't worry. The leader of Watatsumi Island took some troops to clear the place out. She's also issued a strict ban on the use of delusions across the whole army. With their stronghold exposed, I doubt the balladeer is stubborn enough to try and retaliate now on his colleagues' behalf. It would be more trouble than it's worth. I must say, I would relish the opportunity to watch the Fatui getting a taste of their own medicine. Well, anyway, that Songonomiya Kokomi, she really outdid herself this time. I'd love to have another chat with her again in person, but alas, belief systems can be such a hindrance sometimes.
A hindrance? Should you really be saying that as the Gucci of the Grand Shrine?
Anyway, I'm only telling you this to stop you worrying so that you can focus on something I need you to do for me.
¿Qué necesitas?
You've met her, right?
Sí, en la ceremonia.
I'm not talking about the puppet. I mean her. You've
¿Qué?
met her, yes?
¿Quieres decir la que está en el interior?
Yes, the true Raiden Shogun, who meditates endlessly in the plane of Euthymia to preserve her being.
Ah, qué pedo.
Her name is A.
Are you saying that the one we met at the ceremony was just a puppet? And the real Raiden Shogun is the one that the
Gracias,
traveler
Paimon,
met
por
later?
repetir lo que acabas de decir.
And does that mean that when the battlefield changed, so did the opponent?
Noté algunas sutiles diferencias, pero ¿por qué ir tan lejos?
Because this is the Raiden Shogun's eternity. Before pursuing the eternity of her nation, she had to reach eternity for herself. Since the physical body will eventually turn to dust, she replaced hers with that of a puppet. And since the spirit is susceptible to erosion, she placed her consciousness inside her sword, where she remains in a meditative state, free from all disturbances.
Ah, qué pedo.
Oh, that place that she carved open with her sword.
The plane of Euthymia. Essentially, the world inside her mind. A place that typically only allows her existence. She shuts herself off in her inner world, leaving all the affairs of the outside world to be dealt with by a puppet, who has a singular
Falta de
focus on the
raciocinio.
pursuit of eternity. This is the approach A has come up with for realizing eternity.
Xiongli también mencionó la eración. Estaba
You
pensando
mean
en eso.
Morax? It's been a while since I last saw him. A surprising decision by Liyue's Archon. What a fascinating god he is.
It seems like the Raiden Shogun's approach solves the problem Zhongli was facing, though.
Perhaps. Or you could take the view that she's acting like a little child, throwing a temper tantrum and locking herself in her room. Don't you think? The grand notion of eternity she once held has long since given way to the eternity of her own definition. And ultimately, her eternity is defined by fear. The fear of loss.
Silly tapando cámara. Todavía no estoy seguro de lo que quieres que haga.
The truth is, we are on the same side. You want to save the people of Inazuma from the Vision Hunt decree. So do I. The only difference is that I'd rather like to save this nation and save A while we're at it. The key is that the plane of Euthymia represents A's inner world. Defeat her there, and you may well have the chance to shake the Raiden Shogun's will.
So this is your plan? To abolish the Vision Hunt decree?
Dale una madriz hasta que
Not by
entienda.
out of it, or through an armed resistance, but by, hopping inside the Raiden Shogun's inner world?
You're a fast learner. In short, this is the last chance to get Inazuma back on track. Otherwise, an eternity of darkness awaits.
Eso se me hace medio estúpido porque, pues, ok, pero todavía tengo una pregunta. ¿Por qué yo?
Don't you realize how special you are? Remember, the plane of Euthymia is a space where only she is allowed to exist. The
Pues si ya
fact that
entraste
you
una
could
vez,
appear
güey.
there tells us one
Por
crucial
eso tú.
thing. That you have piqued her interest. Perhaps it's because she has never seen an individual who is so
La razón es si no sabe
unpredictable
por qué.
in the face of eternity.
Has no one else ever been in there?
None. No one has seen the devotee of eternity since she shut herself away. In fact, No one even knows what it looks like in there. Your existence is more than just an opportunity. It's the very key to all of this. To that I say, well done, child. You did not disappoint me after all.
Nos ve como un niño.
Wait, you're leaving? Where are you going?
Anti-Raiden Shogun training. I've prepared a special program just for you. Come along.
Ay, esa pinche Yamiko sí me asusta, ¿Dónde está esta madre? O sea, sí, pero... Le di al mapa, pero... Como quieras, juego. No, sí está lejitos. Ah, pues a ver, usamos esta cosa. Pues sí, ya la he llegado a usar yo personalmente, pero... Está chida, sí. Que tenga tanto tiempo de recarga es lo que la hace no tan chida. Porque de lo contrario, si tuvieran tiempo de intervalos más tiempo, pues a cada rato estarías activando y a cada rato estarías volando más rápido, lo cual haría totalmente útil. Pero el hecho de que tengas que esperarte alrededor de... Ahorita vemos. Sin contar el tiempo de uso. Que tengas que esperar 1 minuto y 8... ¿Qué pedo? 60 segundos. 1 minuto 8 segundos. Y es como que... Como que para estaciones muy
Gonna do
específicas.
it here? And what's this mechanism for?
Think of it as a catalyst that can reproduce the Raiden Shogun's combat moves. I made it from my own memory, which means it should be perfectly accurate. Unless, of course, her skills have declined. It'll give you a chance to figure out her moves in advance and come up with a counter strategy. That should be a big help, don't you think? The aim is to try to not get hit by the attacks. Since you've escaped certain death at her hand once already, I presume this shouldn't be more than you can handle.
Esta señora me da miedo. Sospecho un poquito de ella.
What's stopping you? Not still traumatized from your last encounter, are you?
No, es que sí pega duro. Sí me duele. ¡Ah! 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 Ay, es que ese ataque está muy feo. ¿Y cómo escapó eso? ¡Ah! ¡Ay, cabrón! ¿Ah?
What a workout!
Fue un poco desafiante.
So how come you know so much about the Raiden Shogun?
Yo era el anterior.
You mean me? Perhaps it's because I'm the Electro Archon's servant.
What? Like Devalin is to Barbados?
Ah.
Never would have guessed. By
Ok, eso
looking at
debunca el hecho de que ella fue el anterior recorte.
It sounds like you'd be more persuaded if you saw me in my fox form.
Estaría completamente convencido.
In your dreams.
Ah.
Aw.
More curious than my appearance is the fact that she and I don't see each other anymore, wouldn't you say?
Ah.
A nation to last for all eternity is a dream that she and I both share. But I don't think that's the same thing as complete stasis. At some point, she started going down a path that became increasingly difficult for me to join her on. You know, A never said goodbye to me before she stepped into the plane of euthymia. Perhaps
Estoy
it's just my
ofendida.
wishful thinking, but I think she did this deliberately, as her way of keeping our friendship eternal. By neither saying goodbye nor seeing me again, our relationship will remain forever how it was. In her mind, at least.
Quizás la Shogun Raiden es la que vive en una ilusión.
Since we've embarked on two very different paths to eternity, I can either continue to maintain the status quo or do whatever it takes to bring her back on track, regardless of the cost. I have chosen the latter because if stubbornly isolating herself in the plane of euthymia is her idea of eternity, then my duty as her eternal servant is to drag her back out of her own head and into the real world.
Aw, Miko, you sound like a really great friend.
I'm only telling you this so you can properly understand my plan. Could you possibly spare the sentimentality for the time being? Anyway, that's enough chit-chat. Time for Anti-Raiden Shogun Training Phase 2.
Oh,
There's
no.
a part 2?
No tengo con qué curarme, Miko. Bueno, de hecho sí. Pero no voy a aguantar una tercera ronda, eso sí te lo digo. Ay, no, ya no tengo. ¡Ah! O sea, porque de estos casi no los ocupo. Ay, en vez de hacerlo uno por uno, porque si lo haces de uno por uno se va a llenar. Te va a recuperar vida, pero te vas a llenar. En cambio, puedes curarte todo y llenarte haciendo eso. No he cocinado nada porque está esperando el pase, pero ya se me olvidó. ¡Oh, no! ¡Ah!
Take this.
Para el escudo mínimo.
Oh, so sorry.
No seas así, Miko.
Rain outlines your fate. Rain Cutter, power technique!
Lightning flash.
¡Ay! ¡Uy! ¡No! ¡Corre!
Take this.
Se escucha diferente a su ulti. Antes nacía ese desgarre de guitarra.
Thunderclap. Take this.
Okay.
We're finally done. How did we do?
You did quite admirably. I could see your determination and your hard work.
Estoy poniendo
So, do
presión
you think
a
we're
los
ready to
ataques.
beat the Raiden Shogun now?
No.
How do I put this? You're no match for her at all.
Wait, what? So all of this was a complete waste of time?
Tú también, tú pinche Paimon, ¿acaso me ves que soy capaz de cortar una pinche montaña en la mitad o matar a un pinche ex dios? Si lo que hicimos con el dios antiguo del Yue fue en equipo y fue con la bendición de muchos, bueno, de estos adeptos. Así que combatir contra un mismísimo arconte.
You are the most important part of the plan. I know what I'm doing. You don't think I'd leave you with no chance to win at all, do you? Speaking of, Traveler, what do you think of the Resistance Army's chances?
Honestamente,
You're absolutely right. Perhaps they occasionally best the Shogun's army in open battle, but when they face the Raiden Shogun herself, considering even their visions have been taken from them and embedded in the statue, they're ultimately quite helpless.
You don't have to be so blunt. The Traveler's the captain of Swordfish
ah,
too, you
claro, como se compara a ser un arconte.
I don't mean to belittle them. On the contrary. It is precisely because of their helplessness, because their visions have been taken from them, that their will is all the more precious. In short, if everything goes according to plan, they may yet prove to be helpful.
¿Cómo? Ok. Entonces, ¿cuál es el plan?
Oh, goodness. Is that the time? I have another guest to receive today. We can talk more back at the Grand Narukami Shrine.
All of a sudden, you're entertaining guests? Hyman's really struggling to understand how you work.
No somos lo más importante, Paimon. No todo el mundo gira alrededor de nosotros. Vuelve y habla con Yemiko. Entonces ella es un espíritu. Ella es Mushu. Y ella es Mulan. En pocas palabras. Esta es la historia de Mulan. Solo que gone wrong. Salió mal.
Okay, we can talk here. You asked me about the plan. In fact, I've been mulling it over for quite a long time.
Ah, sí.
Before one makes a plan, what is the most important thing one must do?
Comer.
Don't know. What is it?
You must understand the situation you are facing.
Ah.
The Vision Hunt Decree was obviously devised as a means of manipulating the Shogun. The ones behind it knowing full well her susceptibility as a puppet, with a single-minded focus on eternity.
Escaramucho lo confirmó. Los Fatus lo hicieron para crear una gran demanda de engaños.
Yes. This is the strongest piece of evidence we have to go on. Now, we also know that every aspect of the Vision Hunt Decree's promulgation and execution has been enthusiastically spearheaded by the Tenryou Commission from the outset.
Ayaka was saying that every time they submitted a petition against the Vision Hunt Decree, the Tenryou and Kanjo commissions would veto it straight away with no negotiation.
La Comisión Tenryou trabaja para los Fatus.
Yes, it's all too clear that both the Tenryou and Kanjo commissions are in some form of collusion with the Fatui. Foolish humans, blinded by their greed. Thus, the current situation is that our Fatui antagonist is still at large, has the two rogue commissions wrapped around their finger, and is distributing delusions from the shadows. Unfortunately, given that said antagonist is under the protection of two commissions and the Raiden Shogun, we would be rather hard-pressed to track them down.
So, what should we do?
It will be easier for us to start with someone from Inazuma. So my plan is to incite rebellion in the Tenryou Commission.
Rebellion? What are you talking about? After everything you just said, it sounds like the Tenryou Commission has
No
rebelled
contra la
already.
Shogun. No contra Inazuma.
When I say rebellion, I don't mean betraying the shogunate. I mean inciting a certain someone to betray the Tenryou Commission. If we manage to convince her, I'm quite sure we'll be
¿Sara?
able to get you another audience with the Raiden Shogun.
No me digas que...
I'll give you a clue. She's currently in charge of the Shogun's army. She visits the shrine at this time every month, and she is our guest today. She also appears to be standing right behind you.
Don't move a muscle. You've got some nerve showing up here in the shrine when there's an active warrant for your arrest. Don't even think about trying anything. Surrender now. You're coming with me to headquarters. Seize him!
Affirmative.
Kujusara!
It seems that you're forgetting. This is the Grand Narukami Shrine. Use of force here is strictly forbidden. Before you proceed, which of you would like to face criminal charges for dishonoring the Shogun,
Ugh. Guji-ai, please tell me you are not sheltering a wanted criminal here.
We are just friends. I don't see what sheltering has to do with it. Tell your subordinates to leave. We have things to discuss.
All of you outside!
As you wish.
Lo chido es que a todos les dan un nombre. Es como soldado 1, soldado 2. Shao Shuyukita.
Guji-ai, I'm a little curious. Does it not also dishonor the Shogun to hide a wanted criminal at her grand shrine?
You're the same as ever, Kujo-Sara. No one can match you when it comes to loyalty to the Shogun.
As a servant, loyalty to the Shogun is my duty. And as a warrior, I dedicate my life to following the way of the Shogun.
Even though she will one day seize your vision too?
The Vision Hunt Decree is the Shogun's chosen course, and I shall not question it.
Oh, it's tragic. Such wholehearted devotion rendered meaningless by circumstance. Have you been kept in the
Ha de
dark?
ser descendiente de
Or are
uno de
you
los
the
amigos de
only
los
one
Shogun.
left in the light?
Lady Guji, I need you to be direct. Tell me exactly what you mean.
Yo pensé que era de la altura
The
de
Vision
Amber
Hunt
y
Decree
demás,
is a
pero no.
trap. Part of a Fatui plot to bring Inazuma to its knees. And your masters, the Kujo clan of the Tenryou Commission, they're the ones keeping the truth from reaching the Shogun.
You're saying the Kujo clan betrayed the Shogunate?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Guji Yae, your allegation is not only dangerous, but ridiculous. The Tri-Commission has served the Shogun since ancient times,
Saca las pruebas,
and
viajero.
remains absolutely loyal to this day. Ever since I was adopted by the Kujo clan, I have seen and heard nothing but pure devotion toward the Shogun. At every level of the Tenryou Commission, especially from the head of the clan, Kujo Takayuki. He reveres the Muso no Hitotachi more than anyone. My own respect for the Shogun pales in comparison to his. How could he ever even dream of acting against the Shogun?
¿En serio crees eso?
3 days. Come back here in 3 days and I will show you the evidence. As a Guji, there's one thing I know very well. People believe whatever they want to believe. Some things you do not see, simply because you do not wish to look.
Me da risa que Gucci.
And so, it falls to me to place the truth before your eyes, in all its ugliness.
3 days? I'll be here. But if I don't see any evidence, I will demand a formal apology for slandering the Kujo clan. Also,
Su
he
trasero
will
es
have to
mío.
come with me.
En
Wonderful.
pocas palabras.
Then I'll see you in 3 days. I look forward to it very much.
De seguro Paimon se va a quejar. ¿Por qué dejaste que dijera que nos llevara con ella?
That was so scary. Paimon wasn't expecting to run into
Ah, no.
Kujo-Sara
Ok,
here.
gracias. Gracias, Paimon.
Miko, you mentioned evidence of the Tenryou Commission's betrayal.
Esa sí es una duda muy bien justificada. Paimon,
Or...
2 puntos para ti.
Why are you always asking so many questions?
Pero sí.
Of course not. I just had to say something because I clearly wasn't convincing her.
Not entirely unexpected.
As plans go, changing the deity's mind is a huge gamble to begin with. We can't expect to be in control of every last detail when we're facing off against a god, can we?
Okay, but what are we gonna do though? We only have 3 days.
If we want to get our evidence, we're going to need some help. Now, come with me.
¿Sayu?
We must awaken the professional.
Dime que sí. Sí. Ve al bosque Chinyu. Ah, no, entonces se referirá al este mapache emprisionado. Oye, no lo sé. Yo voy a tener que dejar este video hasta aquí porque no me acuerdo bien. Lo más probable es que dure entre 45 y 50 y tantos minutos. Pero nosotros lo vamos a dejar hasta aquí. Me está emocionando. Pinche Yae Miko. Se está poniendo súper conspirativo el asunto. Y me encanta. Así que nos vemos en el siguiente episodio de Genshin Impact. A destruir estos que mis aventureros.